Welcome back to the Creakers. You got to chapter 13. Right, hang on, isn't 13 an unlucky number? It feels a little bit reckless to be writing a book about creepy creatures that live under your bed and then just whack in an unlucky chapter number like it's no big deal. What if you read this chapter and then a creaker snatched you? I feel so guilty. Shall we skip straight to chapter 14? I think it's probably wise. You never can be too careful where creakers are concerned. Chapter 14. Lucy couldn't hold it together any longer. She'd been staying strong ever since the day it all began. She'd already lost her dad. Now hearing these creatures say that she might never get her mum back too was just too much. So Lucy did the only thing a person can do when there's nothing more a person can do. She had a good old cry. She howled and wailed, sitting on top of the washing basket with the 4 hideous creakers trapped underneath, listening to her sobs. The tears started filling up the insides of her swimming goggles, but she didn't dare take them off. She definitely didn't trust the creakers. "What's the kid a-doing?" said Scratch. "What a rotten noise," said Sniff, plugging his floppy ears with his long fingers. "I'm crying, you horrid things," Lucy sobbed. "Crying? What's a crying?" Sniff asked, and out of the corner of her teary eyes Lucy could see all 4 creakers peering up at her through the bars of the washing basket. "Haven't you ever seen anyone cry before?" Lucy sniffed. "No," the creakers said together. "We be creaking when kidders are a-snoozing. We never see a crying human before," explained Grunt. Lucy wiped away the tears that trickled down her cheeks and sniffed up a sob. "Well, crying is what you do when you're really, really sad about something," she said. "Crying is bad?" Guff asked eagerly. "Us creakers usually be liking the bad stuff." "Actually, my dad used to say that crying is a good thing. It's when all the sad stuff inside your mind builds up so much that it starts to leak out of your eyes. It's good to let it out," said Lucy. The creakers went quiet beneath her, like they were really thinking about what she'd just said. "Sometimes I think I might have too much bad stuff inside my noggin," admitted Scratch, peeling a bit of skin from his itchy scalp and popping it in his mouth. "Every night it's a creaking here and a creaking there, snatching grown-ups one day, dozing kidders the next." His voice started to sound rather strange, almost like he was trying not to laugh. "Oh, I knows what you mean, Sniff," who started giggling a little. "All we be doing is a nasty's night in and night out," agreed Guff, and with that the 3 of them cracked up in fits of laughter. Lucy stared down at them. What horrible creatures, she thought, laughing at someone who's upset. But then she remembered that these creakers were from a backwards world, and that when they laughed it actually sounded like crying. So did this mean that now they were laughing they were actually upset? It was all very confusing and rather odd. "Pull yourselves together, you twazzles," hissed Grunt. "The kiddering be putting you under kiddering spells, making you all humany and washy-brained. Naughty human magic." He glared up at Lucy through the bars of the washing basket. "I'm not putting them under spells," protested Lucy. "I don't know any spells at all. Humans can't do magic. I just told you a story, that's all." "Exactly, stories or magic. They puts ideas in your noggin that weren't in there before. They makes you think all different about the world," barked Grunt grumpily, and the other creakers snapped out of Lucy's story spell and came back to their rotten senses. All of a sudden something seemed to happen that made the creakers shift awkwardly. Their wrinkly ears pricked up like a cat hearing a mouse squeak. Then Lucy heard the church bell chime in the distance. What time was it? Lucy started counting. Oh, it's getting early, Grunt said. Oh, the dark be nearly over, said Guff. Let us be going back to the... began Scratch. Wallop, finished Sniff. Nope, Lucy said, tightening the straps of her goggles. She shifted around until she was comfortable on top of the basket and stared straight at them in the mirror. You're not going anywhere until you tell me what I want to know. Why are you here, and what have you done with our grown-ups? The church bell stopped. It was 5 o'clock, almost morning. Tallow, Grunt, it's the only ways, said Guff. We be dust if she don't let us be going back. Dust? Lucy asked, but the Creakers pressed their ugly lips together tightly, and she could see they weren't going to say any more. She tried again. Tell me everything, or you're staying here. There was a silence as Grunt thought about what to do. He was caught in a rotten pickle. Though actually Grunt loved rotten pickle, especially when it was in a mouldy cheese sandwich. This was more like being caught in a fresh strawberry for Grunt, which he hated. Tell her, Grunt, whispered Sniff nervously. Yes, Grunt, said Lucy. Tell me what I want and I'll let you go, but I won't ask you again. What have you done with the grown-ups? All wrong then, Grunt be telling. The tricksy kiddering, but Grunt be getting into troubles for this, Grunt muttered. Troubles be better than dust, said Sniff, trembling a little. Grunt sighed and ran his claws over his spiky-nailed back. It'll be simply easy to understand. We Creakers, we be hating them stupid grown-ups, he said. Hating the grown-ups, said Lucy. Hating 'em like the smell of roses on a sunny morning. Hating 'em like the taste of raspberry ripple ice cream. Hating 'em like a warm hot water bottle on a cold night. All the Creakers agreed, shuddering. But why? Asked Lucy. Them stupid human grown-ups be taking all the stinkery and waste and... Lucy noticed that Grunt was getting very agitated as he tried to spit out these words. They waste it, he spat. They waste what? They waste the waste, all the Creakers barked in unison. All the glorious rubbish, all the rotten leftovers, all the stuff you silly humans use once and then gets rid of. They takes it and chucks it in the watery oceans, said Grunt. They buries it under the ground, added Guff. Or they burns it all up in smoky clouds, hiding it out of sight, out of brain, but most of all out of reach of us. Creakers, said Scratch and Sniff together. Right, said Lucy. So what's the problem with all that? The Creakers bashed their sticky hands on their slimy foreheads and let out a frustrated moan. Ain't it obvious, you silly kiddering? Answered Grunt. We Creakers don't just love the stuff you be getting rid of. We needs it. It's what the Wallab works on, Guff explained. All them things your grown-ups be thinking is rotten and nasty and wants out of their homes, we Creakers wants to have it. Oh, I see, to reuse it, said Lucy. Yes, they barked. That's why we be snatching up all them grown-ups, taking them away, just leaving the messy kidderins behind, Grunt explained. You little muckers know how to make a good muck, Guff said approvingly, and you not be clearing it up. We be able to come and takes all the mess we wants now. We takes it back and builds stinkful homes. You make homes out of rubbish? Lucy asked. Oh yeah, said Guff enthusiastically. We makes the worst rotten homes in all the Wallab. Big smelly ones where the walls are made of lumpy cardboard egg boxes and the windows out of fizzy-wizzy bottles. I got a pure banana peel rug, said Scratch, and my pillows is plastic bags stuffed with empty tin cans, boasted Sniff. I see, said Lucy. She tried to imagine their homes built from the rubbish she would throw in the bin. They sounded rather awful to her, but the Creakers seemed very proud of how disgusting they were. So if we let your stupid grown-ups go hiding it all in the ground, went on Grunt, or the oceans, or the sky, we'd be having nothing to live by's any more, Guff finished. We'd not be able to survive in the wallop. Lucy took a moment to really think about everything they'd said. She thought about all the mess she'd made and where it went when her mum threw it away, and about all those truckloads of rubbish bags she used to see her dad drive off to Whiffington Dump with each day. Now the kidderin be letting us go like she promised, yeah? Said Grunt. Before the sun dusts us all, blurted Guff. Be quiet, you twit, snapped Grunt, shoving Guff so hard that Lucy felt the washing basket wobble beneath her. You be telling her I'll weaken us. The sun dusts you? Lucy asked. Her brain was whirring. Do you not like the sunlight? Grunt sighed, and in the mirror Lucy saw him shoot Guff a nasty look. The sun be too nice, he grumbled, and warm, and lovely, and kind. Our back skin be too fragile to see it. That's why we live in the wallop, under the beds. Sunlight can't get to us down there. We be turning to dusts if we get caught in it, explained Sniff, reaching into his pouch and pulling out a sprinkle of dozy dust. You mean the dozy dust is made of Dusty Creaker, Sniff said sadly, placing it back in the pouch and pulling the strings tight. That be why its magic works so good and powerful. Lucy thought of all the times she'd had little golden crumbs in the corner of her eyes when she'd woken up. She'd never wondered what it was before, but now she suddenly had a strange, uncomfortable feeling in her tummy. That dust meant that a creaker had lost its life. They might be rotten, nasty-looking things, but Lucy was beginning to think that they actually weren't all that bad. Oh, look, it be bright, cried Guff, pointing his flabby claw to the silver, warm orange light that had just crept in through Lucy's curtains. Their time was up. Come back to see what happens.